Hey friends, it's Josh Connor in the Songwriters Circle, back again tonight at the Opry Backstage Grill for Wednesday night Songwriters Night. It's here each week, hosted by Brassfield Alley, a great new group, and we invite you to come out and take part in it all. Enjoy some great food while you're here as well. Now, Chip Davis is in the Songwriters Circle tonight. Hello.
Hello.
What's new and shaking with you, Chip?
I am singing background vocals, still writing songs, not getting so many cuts, but have a studio at the house. And producing some, and just trying to write that next big, what kind of gone?
3.5 minutes away from glory, right?
Always. You know the drill.
So let's talk about What Kind of Gone. Give us a little bit of the background on that song.
We actually started What Kind of Gone, me and Candy Cameron. We had written the verse and a little bit of the chorus, and I'm a keyboard player, and it's very frustrating sometimes because when you're trying to get a groove, it's a totally different feel. Mm-hmm. So Candy said, I think we need to get an acoustic guitarist on this. So I called Dave Berg, because I love Dave's stuff.
Yeah, Dave's great.
And I said, would you be interested? So we sent in the lyric, and he liked the lyric. And he came, said, yeah. So in a couple weeks we got together over NSAI, and our room was booked. And so we got to use David's office. Can't think of David's last name, but anyway, he worked for NSAI at the time. So they said, well, you can have David's office. So we were kind of sitting, it's called small, sitting in the floor. I was sitting in the style with my computer, and Candy was sitting there, and Dave was playing guitar, so he had the chair. And we just started, he showed us what he had done and where he was taking it, and we loved it. And we were trying to think of different ways. Gone for good, good and gone with the, instead of long gone, gone with the long before, which is Dave's line, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
I said gone for the rest of your doggone life, and Dave was fighting me on the line. He was like, I think it's like kind of cheesy. Like, does anyone even say doggone? I was like, well, yeah, I still hear people say doggone, and I said it's another gone.
Right.
And I don't know. So he looked at Candy and he's like, Candy, what do you think? And she was like, I think I'll have to go with Chip on this one. So. A couple weeks or a couple months later, it was on the charts, and I went out to the Bluebird to see Dave and around, and so he got me up to sing What Kind of Gone because it was. And afterwards, this girl came up and she was like, I just moved to town, and this has like been a great exercise. It's just so well written, everything. She said, and my favorite line is, "Gone for the rest of your doggone life." David looked at me and said, "Don't." Well, I don't have to. But
proven correct.
Yes, but Dave is an incredible writer and an
is.
artist. I mean, I think he's kind of following his soul path now, and it's kind of frustrating to try to reconcile your art with the commerciality sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's really frustrating.
Well, speaking of that, that kind of topic, tell us your words of song wisdom for up and coming writers.
My gosh, I would say, write what you know. Write most of my best songs that I love and that I've seen profoundly move people have been real life experiences. Like we were talking about the Joe Diffie song. It came from my son's little brother-in-law got killed in a horrible tractor accident, and that song, it was my first co-write with Frank Rogers, and that came about from that funeral the day before and just the devastation I felt, and thinking, oh my God, my son was like 20 at the time, and this little kid was 10, and just you're in this grateful place that it's not your child, but you're feeling so bad for that child, and thinking to yourself, how in the world do you reconcile that kind of grief and walk away? So the best songs that I find that move me are ones that make me uncomfortable, the ones that make me think, they get me outside the box. I was raised in church in a very rigid denomination, so I discovered rock and roll and Motown later on in life. We were, however, allowed to listen to bluegrass, which is really funny now, because if you listen, no wonder they stayed. I was talking to my dad about that. Like, no wonder the songs were so horrible. They were about death and the precious jewel, and she, I bought her a ring and she died and she's buried and all. But I was like, no wonder the bluegrass community stayed like lit, because it was so depressing. But just real stuff. I mean, you have to find whatever it is inside you, a truth that you feel like that has to come out. And I love, Leon Russell songs, Elton John songs, Dolly Parton songs. Dolly's so honest in her writing, and you know she got in a lot of trouble too over the. I mean, you know, the bargain store. There were. I remember I was.
Dolly's an unbelievable writer.
She really is, and I was in high school whenever bargain store came out, and it was banned in some stations in Baltimore, like
wow.
because you know, and you look back on that and think, well, we progressed a little bit, but you know, I just still think getting back to real, and you know, with this, and as you get older, you know, the party thing, the whole party. It's not where I'm at. It's not where I'm writing. It's not what I'm probably going to be writing about. I have, with some younger writers, tried to get into that mode, but you know, I have two grandsons, so that, you know, tailgate parties and you know, staying drunk on beer and all that is not. So I just try to write true to myself, which is a bit of a compliment because I love the concept of Christianity. I think it's very poorly practiced. So a lot of my songwriting, I've had a lot of Christian cuts because I knew the genre and I knew the language and the vernacular, and you know, I've had 8 Dove nominations. I'm like the Susan Lucci of Doves. I can't win one, but I keep getting nominated.
Honored to be nominated.
Pardon?
Yeah, honored to be nominated.
Yes, honored to be nominated. So anyway, just basically just being true to who you are in your heart, and I think if you can try to say something in a thought-provoking, fresh way that makes somebody just go, wow, that's, you know, I get that. And,
well, keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Chip Davis in the Songwriters Circle. And remember, you can find out more about songwriting, see other interviews from your favorite hit songwriters, and you can join the conversation too.
And we're going to write a song.
That's right. Let's write one. It's online for you now. Josh Connor and the songwritercircle.com. See you there.